Let us mentally bow on those feet, craving of you, O Prabhu, bless us once more. By your divine grace, guidance, mercy, divine protection, divine inspiration. But Lord, we crave the greatest boon again that any human can be blessed with, the gift of unswerving, unfaltering, uninterrupted, unflinching, loyal devotion to Thee. We join in reverence to the various divinities, beginning with Sri Ganesh. Hari Om. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Sri Saraswatiyai Namaha, Shri Guru Charana Kamalibhyo Namo Namaha. Om Yam Brahma Vedanta Vido Varante, Param Pradhanam Purushanta Thaniye, Veshwar Gate Karanam Ishwaram Va, Tasmai Namo Vigna Vinashanaya, Vinadhare Vipulamangaladhanashile, Bhaktartinashini Viranachikarish Vande, Kirti Prade Akhila Manorat De Maharahe, Vidya Pradayini Saraswati Minityam. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Mukhaṁ karoti vachalam pangulam yati girim yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Nilambuja shamala komalangam sita samarapita vama bhagam pano mahashayaka charu chapam namami ramam raghuvansanatam. Ram Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Taturyam Sri Rama Nama Varanane. He Rama Purushottama Narahari Narayan Keshava Govinda Garudarvaja Gunanideta Mudara Madhava. He Krishna Kamalapati Yadupati Sitapati Shiripati Vaikuntadipate Characharapate Lakshmipate Pahimam. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Yam Brahma Varuna Indra Rura Maruta Stunavanti Divyai Stavai Vidai Sang Parkramopanishadai Gariyanti Yang Samagha Dhyana Vastita Tarkate Namanasa Pashyanti Yang Yogino Yashyantang Naviru Sura Suragana Devai Tasmai Namaha. Hari Om Namah Sharvaya Shantaya Shambhuve Shambhuve Namaha. Videshwar Namastubhyam Bhuteshwar Namostute. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhashmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhyaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swata Namostute. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Budhe Puraravinda Yata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Talya Purana Prajvalito Jnanam Pradipaha. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Nijamana Mukura Sudha Varno Raghuvar Vimalayasha Ojodayak Palacha. Buddhina Tanujanike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bal Buddhi Vidya Dekhu Mohi Har Kukalesha Vikar. Siyapati Ramachandra Ji ki jai. Sharanam Nath Mama Sankat Haro Hare. Bolo Siddhi Vishnu Bhagavan Ki Jai. We beg Saraswati Devi her blessings. Jai 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 Shri Saraswati Mata. Jai 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 Shri Saraswati Mata. Jai 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 Shri Rama Radhika Ma. Jai 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 Shri Saraswati Mata. Jai Jai Jai
Shri Saraswati Mata.
Prathama Vinavamay Shri Ganesh Ko Duje Saraswati Ma. Tije mai Vinavati ne Deva Ko jo yak srishti chalai. Tije mai Vinavati ne Deva Ko jo yak srishti chalai. Jai 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 Shri Saraswati Mata. Jai 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 Shri Rama Radhika Ma. Jai 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 Shri Saraswati Mata. Jai 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 Shri
Saraswati Mata.
Chauthe mai Vinava पंच सभी को ध्यान तुझे उलधाम. श्री गरुड़ पुराण अनुपम करनी भवसागर पार कराए. श्री गरुड़ पुराण अनुपम करनी भवसागर पार कराए. जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता. जय 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 श्री रमा राधिका माँ. जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता. जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता. जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता. बोलो सरस्वती माता की जय. Praise again to a noble way of life for Sanatan Dharam. We have just observed, celebrated one of the earliest observances brought across by our forefathers, Maha Shivratri. Having come here on the 30th of May, will make it 180 years devotees. And up till today, after 180 years, our way of life is so vibrant and alive. Why? It is quoted in the Vedas, if you live for the sake of your dharma will protect you. When you analyze Sanatan Dharam, you see what we have to understand, They brought across Hinduism. But Hinduism is a broad topic, right? We follow the pathway that is called Sanatan Dharam, right? Sanatan means eternal. Dharma is that righteous way of life. You had come in also Vasim Narainis, Kabir Pants, Arya Samajis, right? They all came too. And you have others coming on board later on afterwards. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna movement, Satya Sai movement, Raj Yoga movement, all is coming afterwards. But the original is Sanatan Dharam, the oldest. Nobody could tell a time it has started and an individual who started it. When Brahma created this universe, Sanatan Dharam started. So they brought with them their way of life, culture, the rights, religion, You menu everything, devotees. And when you analyze it and you sit down and you analyze Sanatana Dharma carefully, your way of life, you will see how rich it is. It is worth giving your whole life to sacrifice for it. And as the Vedas say, live for its sake and it's going to protect you. Right? So, devotees, I always mention as a Hindu, you're fully occupied from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. But to live the life of a Hindu, you can't be lazy. Because the first thing you have to learn to get up before sunrise and bathe. Right? You're fully active devotees throughout your whole life. So Shivratri is finished. Next week, Thursday will be full moon. Right? Full moon Purnima. Rishi doing a katha, right? Rishi will be sitting as Shruta, he's sponsoring everything. Come on and give him that support. This gentleman would not. Alright? And from there, devotees, when full moon takes place on that night, holy cow will be burnt. And next day, Phagwa is observed and celebrated. So we have the occasion now of Holi or Phagwa coming on. Right? But what happened? From then you could celebrate Phagwa the morning after Holika is burned. Okay? But what we do here in Trinidad, we choose the convenient Sunday. So it will be Sunday after, which is the 16th. So San Grande Hindu School grounds is the place for celebrating that occasion, is the venue for it in eastern counties. It's a time now you could enjoy yourself, sing and dance and all these things and so on, without drugs or alcohol. Remember who going to Phagwa? No meat or alcohol is permitted on that ground, because Bhagavan took avatar as who, devotees? Lord Narsingh, half lion and half man. When that comes in there, the Kalmas period will come in for 15 days. When that is finished, then you have now the Nauratam period will come. And with that is the commencement of the new Hindu year. Right? And that Saturday after, I think is the, I can't remember the exact date, will be Ram Janam or Ram Navami, when Lord Vishnu took the avatar of manifestation as Lord Rama. So you see how much activities you have coming on. Soon after Ram Janam, on the full moon, you have Hanuman Jayanti. Right? And we're going along like that. Right, Ram Janam, Saturday, the 5th of April, for a convenient day, Saturday. Right? So let us, devotees, protect your dharma will protect you. Live for its sake. Whatever challenges that you face, you don't give up. You know, sometimes you're right on the fence and you're quick to give up. No, stand steady like a soldier in the battlefield. Prepare to go wrong, but no retreat. Kaho ek baar hi mitro, सनातन धर्म की जय हो. कहो एक बार ही मित्रों, सनातन धर्म की जय हो. करो प्रचार दुनिया में, सनातन धर्म की जय हो. करो प्रचार दुनिया में, सनातन धर्म की जय हो. सनातन धर्म रक्षा हित, हजारों कहत मेरे रन में. सनातन धर्म रक्षा हित, हजारों कहत मेरे रन में. कभी मुख को नहीं मोड़ा, सनातन धर्म की जय हो. सनातन धर्म की जय हो. सनातन धर्म की जय हो. प्रेम से बोलिए सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. Let us join in the bhajan before we begin. सुर की गति मैं क्या जानू, एक भजन करना जानो. सुर की गति मैं क्या जानू, एक भजन करना जानो. अलख भजन का भी अति गहरा, उसको भी मैं क्या जानूं। अलख भजन का भी अति गहरा, उसको भी मैं क्या जानूं। प्रभु प्रभु कर कर ना जानो, प्रभु प्रभु करू कर ना जानो, नैना जल भर ना जानो। सुर की गति मैं क्या जानो, एक भजन कर ना जानो। गुण गावे ओ गुण गावे प्रभु न्यारन छोरा, फिर तो तुम गुण गाती है। मैं बोला मैं प्रेम दीवाना, मैं बोला मैं प्रेम दीवाना, इतनी बात क्या जानो। सुर की गति मैं क्या जानो, एक भजन करना जानो। ओ सुर की गति मैं क्या जानो, एक भजन करना जानो। बोलो श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय। Glasses, good to see you, buddy. We want to welcome Glasses after about 20 years, and God bless. Nice to see you. प्रेम से बोलिए श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. So devotees, Bhagwan Vishnu again in discussion with Garuda Ji explains devotees the issue as the Garuda Purana deals with pre-death, death and after death. What is important about the knowledge here is important for when we live in, right? If we practice what is said in Garuda Purana, it will better our lives. It will also create a better hereafter when we have to live here. For everything is based on that logical law of the universe, which is the law of karma. Always remember, our present situation is based on what was done in past. The good karmas and the Lord's mercy have us here today. But the future depends on what we do here with this body. Right? So if you check it out, nothing is free. You have to work for it if you want it. Life itself is a sacrifice. It can be very relaxing, devotees, if you know how to live it. Right? A relaxing environment is like this, satsang. So you see, Bhagwan Vishnu was explaining to Garuda, the unrighteous, remember, there are 4 gates to Lord Yamraj. Okay? East, west, north, and south. The righteous devotees leave along, especially the 2 most auspicious, which is the east and the north. The unrighteous, the wicked, the perverse, who throws away this parous money, not knowing the great value of this body, they waste it away, right? And practicing himsa. Himsa means hurting other creatures and so on. You go down the south direction. It explains in Garuda Purana, when a righteous person's life has to leave this body, it leads most times to the upper tiers, which are the ears, the eyes, the nose, or the mouth. The wicked, the perverse, that person who really wasted his body and nothing along the pathway of his purpose here, most times it leads to the lower ones, which is the anus or the private organ. Definitely that heading south. Right? Again, whilst we are living, we do good and we do bad. That's why we are down here. We are called human beings. We are not perfect. If we were perfect, we would not be here. Right? So we do good, we do bad. We do them consciously and unconsciously. Sometimes we don't know we do it, you do it. Sometimes you know you do it, right? Good and bad. But every action has a reaction to it. That's the law of karma. And due to those actions devotees caused, what happens is that we cannot say, because the chapter deals with the southern direction. Who going down through the southern direction? I can't say, you see me are going down there at all. No. Nobody knows. Why? Because we do good and we do bad. With the balance of karmas, you see what has happened. You don't know what game could play. We listened to Shiv Puran, where that girl, you remember the girl? Previous life, who she was in a real upper class. And she born back as a very low one, a chandal, who had to burn the dead, blind, and all these things, and so on, suffering. So we doesn't know what you do. And the next thing too, Agle Janam Ki Kabai, Satnarayan Bhatkatha explained. Sometimes we have karmas heap up from previous hundreds of births before. We didn't finish repeat. Both good and bad. A person who win a lottery by guess, you know. Right? $7 million you win in this time. Think about that. While hundreds of thousands buying ticket, one fella buy it. And he win it. That's not guess, by guess or coincidence. That's karmas. Your good karmas sending you to get the gold spoon here now. That's how it does work. So to devotees, ill comes to us. You may be the best person, good person, and so on, and the illest use fall in your life. And we start to, but God, you start to lose faith. I pray and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and the pressure, so something wrong. No. Agle Janam Ki Kamai. It is explained in Satnarayan Bhatkatha. One of the great things about this age we live in, unlike the others, we have the privilege to burn bad karmas and build good ones. And that is why this age of Kali Yuga was left to prevail by Raja Parikshit to Kali Yuga. Because when Kali Yuga explained to him, he said, here king, you see this age going to be the worst, but the best, you know. He said, what do you mean by that? He said, you see this kind of environment they call Satsangh? Anyway, you see they prepare to worship God. Anywhere they prepare with love to sing and chant His name. And anywhere they prepare to have His katha take place, that environment in Kali Yuga will be magical. He said, what do you mean by that? He said, this environment in Kali Yuga has the power, unlike Satyug, Treta, and Dwapar. You could burn bad sins and you could start to build good one. He said, let me tell you something. You know what's the great thing about it again? It ain't going to be too long. Because man's attention span in Kali Yuga will get shorter and shorter. So, eka ghari adhi me punyar tulasi sangata sadhu ke kate kotya parad. Maximum is 2 hours. After that, attention span gone. It got in shorter too. Right? When Parikshit heard that, he said, okay, it have plenty attributes. Man could really help themselves by. Okay, I'm going to let you live. Your age will prevail, but I don't want you wrong here. You can't stay in my territory, you know. He said, you think everybody will come satsang? You think everybody like to hear Bhagavan Katha and sing his praises? I still have plenty of them to trap. Where get them? I will tell you where to go. Go where there's alcohol and alcohol-related activities. Go where there's the eating of meat and the killing of animals. Go there, you can catch plenty of them. In the gambling dens, where the gambling takes place, go there, you trap plenty of them. In the prostitute shops and the brothels, go there, you can get plenty of them. And Kali Yuga still tell them, only 4? You know how much I had to catch still? He say, okay, I give you one more place to go in. Go and take up your residence in gold. Gold which is represented by money in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, a man go to divorce of money. When the time comes, now good still. So you see, Bhagavan Krishna explains in, in Bhagavad Purana, anybody who trying to aspire the Lord, you see them when they drive in, they have them long truck stools, as mark keep 17 meters away. Krishna Bhagavan say, if you want to reach me, you see them places I just mentioned, keep 100 meters away from them. Keep far from those places. Right? Because that is like a magnet that will trap you in this respect. So devotees, what happens is that we are all grihastis, householders. We live in this world. Right? Everybody had to work, everybody had to pay bills, grow up family, this, that, face the world today. As I said, during the course of life, we do good, we do bad. Sometimes we do the wrong and we know it's a wrong. That's why Garuda Purana is important to listen to. You wouldn't believe how much wrong we just do. Okay? It is, again, the scripture is not meant to offend, or as we simply put it, to throw stone in anyone's garden, but it's simply meant to inform. We want knowledge, right? So here, devotees, Bhagavan Vishnu was telling Garuda. He said, Garuda, that pathway down the southern course is the terrible river called the Vaitarani River, where souls get real trouble to cross. They sink in that soul and they suffer. On the bank of that river is a massive silk cotton tree there. Right? That's where the tree comes from, you know. And souls suffer. Some souls are taught and all these things and so on. So Garuda said, well, who it is going down that pathway? And we'll reach down there. And Vishnu Bhagavan continued to explain. We did some on last Thursday, a week before Thursday, but let us see what happened. Hari Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Guru Charan Kamalebhyo Namo Namam. Hari Om Shri Vishnu Adi Devebhyo Namaha Mama Pujitam. तीरथ को सलंजन को हरिओम गत कर्म को गुरु को देवी को निंदा का है पुराण को वेद को मीमांसा को न्याय को वेदांत तु दुष्ट का हरिओम हर्षिता को दुखितं को दृष्टवा को हरिष के हरिष्टे को दुखदायका दुष्ट को वाक्यस्य हरिओम वक्ता वक्तकारो को दुष्ट को चार को ये सदा श्री उमा वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जाए एते को चान्यते को कहवा को हरिओम पापिष्टा को धर्म को वर्जिता गक्षंती को यम मार्गे को ही को रोद माता को दिवानिशम यम को दूतय को तांड को माना हरिओम यान्ति को वैतारणी प्रति तस्यं को हरिओम पत्नी ये पापा को स्नाहं को कथयामिते श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. Bhagavan Vishnu continues to explain, and that's what I'm saying. We don't know, most of us, when we look, if we are heading on the south, because you don't think yourself as the best, that not me, I ain't going so under, because we do good, we do bad. All right, so what he says here again, Hari Om Narayan Paramatmaye Namo Namah. इसी प्रकार को वेद को मीमांसा को न्याय को वेदांत को आदि को हरिओम दूषण लगाने वाले के दूसरे के को दुखी देकर आप प्रसन्न होने पर कि सुखी का को दुख मानने वाला हरिओम कुटुंब वचन को बोल रहा है श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. He said, those who kill with poisonous food, and all of us, I tell you, we fall guilty to that, because you have a cockroach in your house, you have a rat in your house, all these things and so on, and you have to put some kind of bait for it to eat and so on. You see what has happened? Unconsciously doing it. Let me tell you something, right? I grew up in cocoa, coffee, citrus estate, right? We used to work our land 10 acres ourselves. When we cut last in orange field, it's bull grass, and you put in picket already bachak and day, and then you're coming back when you're done now and you're killing from a side going down the road. Those days had aldrex and this and that and all everything and so on. One Saturday when I sat down and check, I would have killed more than 50,000 bachak. I say, you see this? This I make for me. It I make for me. Because I had the knowledge of the scripture, you understand? God made them to squirrel is that thing that's caught cocoa. If you want cocoa, you had to kill them. You ever see a squirrel get shot with a cocoa seed between the teeth? About to eat it and it gets shot there? God made them to live. Right? We are over them. Where is the ahimsa? If you notice, I said that I make for me. Whoever want to take that, go ahead. Go ahead and take that on your shoulder if you want it. Honestly. That really leave me thinking, you know. I tell you it was more than 50,000. It could be more. Right? Because plenty has been honest. killing with poisonous food, with poison devotees, all right? Who sees upon again somebody has good character and so on, and you use that opportunity to baden that person's name then, right? To create bad names so that people will strip him of his merit and so on. All doing these things, you're going down south, right? A person jealous of those who may have in life. You're studying, you want to sit up holding your hammock and rock and whistle, while the next man get up and he working hard to make and build what he have, but you're jealous in the man. Why you don't try it and see how easy it is? Right? And that's what's going on in today's world. People feel things come with breeze. No, you have to work for it. Isi prakar ke again, those devotees keep the company of the wicked and the foolish. If you keep in the company of a foolish person, where you going to come out? The scriptures tell you a person supposed to educate himself. Not only academically, spiritually, and otherwise. Keep educating yourself. You could never finish learn. We learn until the moment of death. Right? Those again, devotees, keeping away from the company of good people. You go wrong that bad pathway. People again who despise places of pilgrimage. You don't like holy places and things. Right? You don't like those type of environments. You go wrong there. And again, devotees, a person again who despise good people, your teachers. You see, a teacher, devotees, if you know how sinful it is when you insult a teacher, much less to hit a teacher or whatever, and you have different teachers. You have your spiritual teacher, you have your academic teachers and so on. When somebody could teach you something and help you in life, that person is a teacher, is a guru. You could never repay that person for that. Despising such a person leads you down that pathway. The person who despises scriptures, bad talk the scriptures and you don't like it and whatnot and so on, you're going down that way, devotees. Those who again are elated to see when people in a miserable state. You know, when people suffering and again pressure, good, I'm glad, give him more pressure. And we just do that? Huh? You know how serious that sin is? A divine quality is compassion in your heart. When you see somebody suffering, if you can't feel that pain, you don't have that. You must sense that and have that feeling, devotees. All that is very sinful nature of us then. Those who try to make the happy people wretched. People life going real good, and you sound like a pension pushing there to create some disturbance in the person's life. Right? A person who speaks evil words, only wrong thing. हित की को बात भी नहीं को सुनने वाला है, शास्त्र की आज्ञा भी को किसी को समय की होता है. And are always devotees, Narayana Bhakti Kevalam, and they are always, as you say here, they speak evil words. And are always evil-minded in nature. Such people go wrong that pathway in the southern direction when the life leaves the body, where that river Vaitarani is. You see, if you notice, it was showing you, we just do good, but wrongness coming, everybody, we have to live here. And due to this, that's why they tell you, Maya is be a trap, This world is a real trap. And if you really don't know how to live in it, you commit more karmas. Right? We remember how good we do to get his body here. We want to build and build more to get back a better if you had to come back here, if you didn't get moksha. Hari Om, Nako manne wala ko aise abhimani ko buru ke apne ko pandit ko, Hari Om manne wala hai. Those devotees who did not listen to good counsel, people giving you good advice and you don't want to take it. Well, boys, sometimes some people like concrete wall. Right? You're trying to get to them, to talk to them, to help them, to elevate them, and they want to take you on. Can't Muslims say, leave them one side, In Ramayana, right? You're trying your best behind them, but you don't give up. You don't give up with it. A person who don't want to heed to the teachings of the scriptures, every faith and every religion teach you good. They teach you good, how to better your life, make yourself better in this world. None don't teach you bad. Okay? नारायण भगवान इसी प्रकार को पूर्व में को हरिओम गिनाने गए और भी को दूसरों धर्म को रहित को बहुत से को पापी को जीव रात और को दिन में रोते हुआ या मार के को जाते की होता है. A person who is selfish in nature, When you're selfish devotees, you'll lose out plenty, plenty, plenty. You know why? You only want for yourself. And due to that, you will not be doing any good to any of God's creation. Right? You only concentrating on you and yourself alone. Due to that, you cannot do voluntary work. You cannot help community, this, that, all empty and so on, because you're only looking for yourself. Right? So you have to be selfless in nature. And how that has come, when you get teachings of the scriptures, you'll get to realize just one little knock on your door, you know. It will take long, you know. Tulsi will tell you, who are you? He say, my name is Jamblut. You have to go, you know. He say, you have to go? I say, yes. You know, we can think to give me a chance to fix up some business, sir. You have to go. What's about all this thing I kill myself in this world for? You can't carry that, you know. Nothing could go from here. Because check your records up there by Lord Yamraj and see what good you did and what bad you did. That is what will benefit you here. The good ones. Nothing can you carry, and yet still we kill ourselves for it. That which could really help us devotees, we give that last resort. If we give it any resort at all. Right? Narayana Bhakt, such devotees, it says here, a person who is unbended. Unbended means a person who is self-opinionated. Right? You can't see another person's point of view. Right? I always tell you, you should read a book, a literature book called To Kill a Mockingbird. Right? You're not bound to be right all the time. You might have your ideas of something, but when you listen to the other person, you didn't think of that perspective at all. He could probably show you a better way at achieving the same thing that what you're trying to do. When you're unbending devotees and you cannot take advice, and that will only come because there's ego in your heart, anger, there's no humility, that person going on that way. और भी को दूसरा धर्म को रहित को बहुत से की होता है, a person who thinks himself he's very learned. Watch a man by, yeah, people have got books, you know. That's a proverb, say. He who says he knows really knows not. Right? You see the fella who say, boy, he know nothing, boy. He just trying, he's still there, you know, picking up everything here and there. Watch that man. The man who really says he knows really know nothing, because a learned person do not brag about himself. Self-praise is no praise. And that will lead you down that pathway when you feel that you are better than everybody in this manner. Nobody no more than you. Right? That very sinful, a person again, devotees who devoid of righteous ways in his life. You see, that's why, how you know, well, what is good and what is not good and what is righteous and what is unrighteous. That's why throughout all the scriptures, the issue of satsang is stressed. We have to gravitate to these kinds of environment. Now, I mean, to be honest with you, in this time through technology, right? You have the radio, you have the television, you have the phone, whatsoever, and so on. We could get so much knowledge and so on in this manner. But you know what is the important thing? It's stressed to how important this environment of satsang is. In Bhagavad, Krishna Bhagavan says, when you see a devotee of the Lord, is a blessing for you. Just seeing that person. And look how more blessed. Look at where we keep in satsang. In the mandir of Lord Shiva. The place is already holy. Satsang now adds to it in this manner. So that's why it's not that because of technology you could stay home and listen to this and that and so on. Yes, as I mentioned, that's for people who are unable physically to come out from the house. When God bless you with health and strength, long ago devotees, let me tell you, people used to walk barefoot. You have a flambeau in your hand and you go in full moon katha, you know how far you walk in. Ask Madam Dolly and them, they go tell you down there. How far you walk into where the kutia is. Snake in the road and this and that, all them things and so on. Today people have motor car, it has cold breeze in it. Think about it, and they still can't go. They still, but you see again, now coming back to another quotation, Lord Shiva says, Punya Punya Binomelahina Santa. Unless Lord Shiva showers his grace and mercy, you can't reach. You could do what you want, umpteen excuse will come that you cannot reach. You go fit in like a jigsaw puzzle, why you couldn't come? But Shiv Baba says, it is so nice, you had the luck on my blessing. So in satsang is where the knowledge is given, that we will know what is right from what is wrong, and how to develop righteous pathways, and devotees put aside those that are not good. Hari Om Narayan Bhakti Kevalam. There are many, many others, Garur. They fall along that pathway leading on the southern direction where that terrible river Vaitarani lies there. Hari Om Narayana Bhakti Kevalam Charan Kamale Bhyo Namo Namo. इस प्रकार को यम मार्ग को चलते हुआ को जीव को यमदूतों की तारना से को वैतारिणी नदी को जाकर पापी पुरुष गिरते हैं, उनका को कथा की होता है श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. Beaten by the Jamdut on them. Remember the special body you have for Totya now, eh? This body is gone, this body burnt to ashes. Okay? When the soul is the body, it enters into an aerial body the size of the thumb, Angusharir. When the shaving is performed, it drops that body and enters into another aerial body the size of the palm of the hand, a cubit. And in this body, the soul is traveling in. Right? When you face Jamraj and what you have to pay for and where you have to go and suffer and this and that and whatnot, is our next body you gain there, a body for Totya, but you're feeling the pressure and the pain and all them things and so on. Okay? And again, you see this whole picture I have here, it has explained how it happened down in the Yamlok. And in Narak means the hells that they have. Okay? So, due to the actions committed by us when we are alive, beaten by the messengers of Yamraj, they go towards the Vaitarani river. Right? I will tell you again, with sinners, fall into that Vaitarani and suffer. Vishnu Bhagwan is saying, Hari Om, Mata Pita Guru ko Achar ko Adhika ko apaman karte ki hota hai. Those who dishonor their mother and their father, your parents. Every scripture tell you, honor thy mother and thy father so thy days shall be long upon this earth. It had no blessing a child could get than when you see your father and your mother bless you. Blessed are you, my child. Right? Blessed are you. That, it had nothing to compare with that. The Guru blessing can't compare. Vishnu Bhagwan can't compare. Nobody. जिन माता पिता की सेवा की उन तीर्थ स्नान कियो न कियो जिन की हृदय श्री राम बसे उन और को नाम लियो न लियो जिन की हृदय श्री राम. If a man had two sons, one decided he want to go and visit all the holy places in India, do all the charity and everything you could think about good. And the next fellow study, he say, I go stay with mother and father, right? And I go care for them and thing. Who gets the more blessing? Who? Not the fellow who going to visit all the holy places, you know. The one when the old man want a little cup of water, the son could run and get for him. Or the mother, once the foot hot and sheeny night, he could squeeze it a little bit. They have good children, plenty good children and so on. Right? But how many of our parents are remaining neglected right now? They're living alone in the house. You know, as I say that somebody is looking for somebody to stay with them because they get old. They have nobody. Children gone and all them things. If you have anybody in mind staying, you could let me know afterwards. Right? Our devotees, our system down here now, which we come from, the traditions of the forefathers, it has gone. And in every little community, you see a house for the aged being built. You call them geriatric centers? Right. That's a good way to develop that skill too, because everybody looking for somebody to care for them. Because children are there again. Children leave in you and go in, and two all you see, you know, like two all you watching one another. If the two all you day, look at your case, you understand? Anyone dishonoring mother and father, you could never see good in this world. And it's important to know this, especially younger ones, to prevent you making that mistake. That children beat their mother and father, like, you know, they call them Dhundukari. All right, in the Bhagavad. Some cases where the folks get old and you see the son bald behind the old man, so like a dog, you have to put your tail between your leg and stay quiet. If you're going through that, thank the Lord, but it have cases where these things happening. Yeah. Blessed again is that child or children who has this in their heart to care for their mother and father. Imagine your mother and, you see, I always say, there's no more trouble you give your mother and father until you have children, Then you're going to have more trouble you give them. How much to, and now bringing up a child is more difficult than before, Look how much trouble to make you a big man and a big woman. And you can't give back a little bit in the old days. They say once a man, twice a child, it's happening. If you get to live that long. Right? So all children should take note of this. No parent, no blessing is greater than mother and father. All right? Isi prakar ko, guru. The guru is the one to open your eyes spiritually and elevate yourself here. Remember what happened to Lord Shiva inside that temple? Right? This loyal and this obedient and having that hate for the guru and so on. Acharya, the one who teaches and so on in this manner. You see, when they give you knowledge, why you think devotees, we are happy now. Our forefathers saw it. Educate your children. Educate them, educate them. And we forefathers get on a mission, they ban the belly. Right? We don't realize that, I want my child to go to school. My child have to go to school and learn. Right? And again, people like Pastor Khan Dong says will tell you, long time Indian girls used to go to school. You have to wash wares, iron clothes, fix the house good. Because when you reach a certain age, you have to marry. It's because of Sanigrani Hindu college. Because it was a Hindu college, Indian people started to send out the girl children. And plenty of them get educated and so on. Boys to everybody and so on. Right? And that's what they did, educate. Look at, I was speaking the other night about that. I am third generation, fourth generation, or fifth generation. What are professionals that have out here now in the community? It's easy, Everybody's a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, teacher, this or that, Where you can get that long time? That is a struggle, that is a sacrifice we forefathers make. That's why you could never forget them. Anytime you forget them, it have a word for it to describe it. They call it Nimakaram. And that remembrance has come when it's Pitra Paksh. If you can't observe, Pitra Paksh should be really observed. In full, in full, when you understand how important the ancestors are in our lives, what they did for us, you will make all kind of sacrifice just to make sure you do that period good. इसी प्रकार के आरिका को अपमान को करते की होता है. O Garur, they sink into that Vaitarani river not being able to come out. Hari Om Narayana Bhakti Kevalam. इसी प्रकार अक्षय को स्वभाव को बाले वाले से को द्वेष को करने वाले, द्वेष को पति व्रता को स्त्री को त्याग करने वाले पुरुष को वैतारणी में को भर्ती की होता है. Those who quickly again devotees abandon your good and your faithful wife who is good and dutiful to you, and you pick up a paramount outside. Right? You're going on that way. The wife too, who does that to the husband. You have a good husband, right? If I say in terms of trying to live a nice life, you might be fully educated, this, that, whatsoever. You pack here up to take a next one. You're going down that road. I'm not saying this, this is what the scriptures, Vishnu Bhagwan from his own lips. Because when you take them vows wrong, the fire there and so on for the wedding, who you promising? Is the Lord, and you're breaking it up there. You see, I was telling somebody long time, could you imagine? Just think about it, And Davis, you and Ravi, think about it. Long ago, you could meet a girl for yourself or you could find a boy for yourself. Your father had to organize that. Your father had to get a boy for you or a girl for you. And you're going to marry to this person. Here the next thing. The wedding is to be in the night. It have when the boy go come home and check the girl, or the girl go and check the boy, and they're going out and have lunch and this and that. You know when you're seeing the wife who you married? Next day when morning clear, because it was night, right? They didn't have electricity. It's flambeau and gas lamp that coming afterwards and so on. So when morning clear good, then you see who you're really married to. Now people get questioned. I know one was promised a nice girl, fully physically fit and thing. But next morning after the marriage, the girl started to walk with a limp. Waiting. They push another one instead of that one. But you know what they did? They married, they take the vows and they tell themselves, we are married, we will now learn to love and we are going to make this marriage work. And that's what they did. Just think about it. I mean, it really hard. It's telling a fella today, or a young person, hey, you have to learn to live without a cell phone. See if they could do it. Just think about it. In this time that you live in. Right? So devotees abandoning that good, that beautiful partner in your life to pick up some paramount on the outside. Definitely going on varitarni. Hajaron ke gun ko jis purush ko hai, unke ko dosh ko hariom aropan kar ko, un satya ko purush ki ko ninda karne wale manush ko vaitarani ki hota hai Vishnu Bhagavan ki jai. Those who ascribe devotees evil to good person. In other words, again, not come with jealousy and envy and this and that. All right? A person living a good life. Now, people do these things for money, eh? You go and see a man, this and that, and you want to put a pinch in somebody's life or this or that and all these things and so on. Good people, or you try in whatever way you have some influence, and you could bring down that person. You're going down that road. See how simple it is? Right? And it leads us there. Right? You want to strip them of their good merits, and merits don't come easy, you know. You have to work hard to build merits. Right? Hard devotees to build merits in your life. And you treat them to disrespect devotees, you fall into that Vaitarani river, and the soul is lost there until eternity. Hari Om Narayan Bhakti Kevalam. ब्राह्मणों को किसी को यहाँ कहा तुमको मैं को इसको प्रमाण दान को दूंगा फिर को वार को उस प्रकार दान नहीं की देता है. The person devotees who promises a brahmana, a holy person, that you're going to give him whatever it is, and when the time comes you did not keep your word, that is a terrible sin that lead you down. You see, that I tell you, Ramlila, we just learned that lesson. Don't do like Dashrath. Dashrath tells Vishwamitra, ask for what you want. He said, I want Rama Lakshmana to go in the forest. He said, oh God, ask for something else than not that. I can't let go Rama Lakshmana. He said, but you tell me ask for anything. Eh? When Kekahi devotees, right, would not heed against King Dashrath in the Kubhavan, he said, lady, ask for anything you want, anything, I'll give it to you. She said, okay, you sure? You have to say, why Ram? Because you know you wouldn't go back on your word, eh? He said, here's something. I want my son Bharat to be the king, and I want Ram to go in the forest. Listen to the terms and conditions before you say yes. Don't do like them, they find themselves in trouble. You make a promise and you go against your promise. You see, the motto of the Solar dynasty was what? Raghukula Riti Sadachali Ai Prana Jai Varu Vachana Jai. We have no heed for that again. Long ago when a person gave you their word, they will hold for their word. Today is just to get you off the pathway or the shoulder whatsoever, and they're bothering with you. Right? Yeah, don't frighten, I'll do it for you. And you forget that clean. That is a terrible sin, devotees. Making a promise and breaking it, especially to a holy one, to a Brahmana in this way. And again, it tells you here, you know, you prepare everything and so on, and to make the gift. And when he come now, the holy Brahmana come, what happened? You tell him, well, we have nothing for you now. Eh? That disappointment. Devotees, you see, holy people, not only Brahmana, but any holy people, you have to play with them. It had a guy, all right, he had some kind of problem, and they tell him he has to feed 12 Brahmins, worship them and feed them. Okay? So long ago, nobody had counting, them fellas walking where they going and all them thing and so on. 11 of them reached, and the last fella run late. And the fella started to get vexed. Right? The owner of the house then. Now this is not a Nancy story, this is something that happened. Okay? He was so angry because he ran a bit late. You know when the last fella reached the Brahmana, old man, right? He went to him and he said, in anger, you're keeping back my whole proceeding this day, right? You come here late, I feel to kick you. Well, let me tell you what happened. The old man had tell him nothing. But he remained with 2 sore foot on his 2 foot for the rest of his whole life. He could have got no medicine to cure it. No medicine could have cured those sores on his feet. None. Yeah? Yeah. All he tell him, I feel to kick you. That's all. Poor old man, he stay quiet. He ain't tell him nothing. He ain't like Lord Shiva inside there, But you see your own karma does come back. He remain, I'm telling you, no matter what medical attention he tried to get, his foot couldn't cure, he died with it. Yeah. So we must be very careful where righteous people are concerned, saying things about them, this, that, doing action towards them and so on. Hari Om Narayan Bhakti Kevalam Charan Kamali Bhyo Namo Namam Siddhi Vishnu Bhagavan Bole Hari Om कोई प्रणाम को ब्राह्मण को धरते दान देने के लिए बुलाकर को हरि ओम बाद में तुमने मैं को दान नहीं दूंगा फिर को पुरुष के वैतारी नदी को सदा निवास करते की होता है श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय नारायण भक्ति केवलम हरि ओम इसी प्रकार को श्री विष्णु भगवान बोले कोई को आदमी को आपको दान को अतियन देकर हरि ओम श्री आप ही को हर को लेता है कोई दान देने को यार दुख मानते कि को व्यर्थ को दान को दिया इसको देने का कुछ भी नहीं को हो सकता है the person again devotees who takes away another person's livelihood. All right. This man has his way of earning his living to save with his family and so on. And you do something that prevent him from getting a job or his income to care for his family. That is a terrible sin. Okay? A person who hinders others making gifts, I mentioned that the other day, is a sin when you prevent somebody from giving. Always encourage to give more than less. And anytime you give and you regret you give, you lose all the merits from it. Okay? All these it says, a person who obstructs sacrifices, prayers going on and so on, and you come there and you obstructed devotees, you will suffer for that. You're going on by tyranny. And you prevent again kathas and so on, that will bring knowledge to you in this manner. Hari Om Bhagavan Vatsa Kevalam Charan Kamale ब्राह्मण होकर ग्रेत तेल को गुड़ को आदि को व्यापार करते को ब्राह्मण होकर शूद्र स्त्री को सेवन करते हैं वेदोक्त यज्ञ को निवास पशु हिंस को अपने को लिए करते की होता है श्री विष्णु भगवान बोले a person removing boundaries, property boundaries, all right, that is a sin. In other words, you're thief in land then. And for us, steep inches to little feet and so on and thing, and they feel like get plenty. And it's all you need is 6 feet or below. Right? Hey, sure? It's just 6 feet downwards you need, But it's different land up here. Think about it. Bhagavan Vatsalam. Provide up pastures devotees for cow to graze. Right? Cows have nice pasture land to graze and stay healthier that you could get ghee and milk and all them things, and you destroy pasture land. That leading you down to that southern direction. Narayana Bhakti Kevalam. The person who has good karma, he is born as a Brahmana and he sells liquor. Drinks it also, you're going down that pathway. Huh? Fella say, that way the money is, boy, what go do? Well, Bamu, you go down the road. Right? The Brahman duty is not to eat meat, drink alcohol, sell alcohol, anything that contribute to that. That's not your type of life. I tell you them, it was my type of life. I said, let me go up that way. What? So selling alcohol, and you see we Hindus, we like that. This. Money, anything, money, more you get, more you want. No matter how to sell your dharma for it, you're going to do it. In other communities, they will not do it, They will not sell certain meat and certain that alcohol and this and that and so on in their business place. But the Hindu on the money, you have to do it. It is a sin, devotees. And again, as I mentioned, is not again of being, as you call it, you're looking down on somebody or you're higher than somebody and this and that. No. But a Brahmana who does not get married, right, in his caste with a Brahmin girl, that is, you will not have pure Brahmin children. And do you know what is called Sankar Baran? Sankar Baran means Dogla. Not between ethnicity groups, but between your very own type. If a Brahmin marries a non-Brahmin, that child is a Dogla child. You call it Sankar Baran. So you will not have pure Brahmins being born. Then how Dharma will go on? This is what I mean issue. How will the Dharma go on? Because you're going to see a breakdown coming, devotees, and you see the Swabhav manifest in that person. Right? You have to be legible to read a Sankalp. You have to go through that ceremony what them children do the other day. That ceremony has to be done. Then you become eligible to sit by that Bedi, to read a Sankalp, or to sit on this. You know how they call this seat I see on here? What is the name for it? What is the name for it? Yeah? No, what is the Hindi word for it? Singhasan. Singhasan. What sing means? Lion. Asan means seat. This is the lion seat. You don't jump on top here just like that. No. Certain initiation ceremonies and so on you have to go through before you get ordained devotees to take this place. So such a person who married out of that, right, is a sin. Because you didn't live up to that expectation. That's why long ago there's a stress these things happen, right? But again, you see what happened today. The boy come and tell you like the girl, the father and mother ain't too happy with it, but you have to let them marry because next thing they want to drink poison and they want to kill themselves and this and that and all them things. And that's going on. See it? Right? All kind of craziness going on. This is what happened Kali Yuga. Okay? So that also is a sin as it tells you here. Hari Om Narayan Bhakti Kevalam. Isi prakar ko Shudra स्त्री को इसी प्रकार कभी को संध्या सेवा प्रजापति हरि ओम श्री पजारी न होकर और को मांस भक्षण तथा को मदिरा को करे और को किसी को ज्ञान में चले को शास्त्र को आदि में अध्ययन को न करे की होता है श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. A person who kills animals for his own gratification, right? Killing animals is, I just feel to talk, but when you check it out, devotees, the highest quality you can really practice is ahimsa. This is one of the greatest disciplines in Gita. To practice ahimsa, what it means, thou shalt not hurt another creature. You cannot do it if you are eating meat. You can't do it. A fellow arguing, he said, upon it, I didn't kill no chicken, right? I bite in the poultry shop, You see how to understand commerce. If there is not a demand, there will not be a supply. Think about it, right? And all who are along that line, for that to reach that counter, all you are aiding and abetting. Everyone aiding and abetting. That's how it goes down, Yeah. So that's a man's livelihood, what I go do? Is a man's livelihood, right? But it's aiding and abetting along that line. You're going to mine a chicken, and you know that chicken, they're going to kill it and eat it. Think about it. It's so technical when you look devotees at this, All right? Hari Om Bhagavan Vatsalam. A person who is not devoted to his duty, the person who eats flesh and drinks liquor, you're going down the south pathway then in this manner. And who has an unbridled nature, that means you cannot control your senses of perception and organs of action. You're wild then in this manner. The person, devotees, does not study the scriptures. Hari Om. Shudra hokar ki vedo parhate ki hota hai. Kapila ko, gayaka ko, दूध पीने को, यज्ञोपवीत को धारण करते को, ब्राह्मण सेवन करे की होता है. The Sudra now who studies the scriptures. He sits on the lion's seat and he has the sacred thread wherein he going down that pathway on the southern direction And the scriptures explain, all who follow in him, like a choo-choo train, you're going down with him. That is how terrible it is. Right? They also tell it, Shiv Purana, when non-Brahmanas chant mantras, in that country there'll be plenty infant deaths. Plenty infant deaths will happen. Hari Om Purvakate hua tatha antame ki hota hai. A person again who takes advantage devotees, what is oneself, who abducts others' wives, right? Ravanitya. Abducting devotees, the wife of another, is a sin, because that's why Shri Ram killed Bali in Ramlila. He had that problem. The person again, devotees, who takes advantage over virgin girls, all right, lustful over them and takes advantage of them, you're going down that pathway down the south. The person who slanders virtuous women, women who live a nice, clean life with good character and so on, and you take that opportunity to slander their name or to bring blame upon them, or what you call it then, ills against them and so on, you're slandering that person, devotees. That is a terrible sin. Very terrible. A terrible sin in the scripture tells you, killing a lady is a terrible sin. Killing an infant child, killing a holy person, killing a cow, these are terrible, terrible sins that people commit. Hari Om Purvako Kate Hua Tatha Ke, those and many, many others again. He's saying here, what happened? बहुत से को शास्त्र को विरुद्ध को काम करने वाले, विहित को कर्मों को त्याग करने वाला, सबको मूर्ख के पापी वैतारिणी नदी गिरता की होता है. And those who are fond of treading along the forbidden paths in life, the pathway you're not supposed to go in, and you're going down that pathway. Parents have been talking to children about it. Elders have been talking, because you see what has happened. The elders and the parents, remember, they had the experience, they went through that already. So they could try to show you, boy, don't make that mistake. Let me prevent you making that mistake. You have to suffer for it this way and that way. And you can't take it on. When you're young, it's something else. You feel you right, especially teenager time. You right and everybody else wrong. You want to hear nobody. But it is the time you could build a good foundation in your life, or you could damage the whole foundation of your life. So that's why you see again, you learn from scriptures. Why did Guru Vashish encourage King Dasrath to give Ram and Lakshman to Vishwamitra? Keeping the company of the wise and the old devotees as a young person, it will help you and better your life. You might look to keep your peer group company. You're going to do craziness. You're going to do craziness. But keeping the company of the wise and the old, they're going to keep you along a path to uplift yourself. Right? So what teachings come out of it? Hari Om Narayan Bhagavan, and those who again, they forsake their prescribed duties. In 3rd chapter in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Bhagavan says, a person has obligatory duties to do. What is obligatory duties? What you're supposed to do then. You are a son, you have to care for your parents. You are a father, you have to care and protect and provide for your family. You can't have a wife and 3-4 children and you want to lie whole day at a place there. No. You're neglecting your duty. You're spending out all your money outside and your children have food on the table. You're neglecting your duty. As a wife, you have again responsibilities towards your home, your children, your husband, and so on in this way. You neglect that, you're going down that pathway. Performance of Pitri Yagya, that's obligation of the son. We are supposed every morning when you get up, take a bath, cleanse yourself, pray. Ask God to bless you and the day ahead of you. You go to work for the dollar that you get in. Anytime you go to work and you didn't put out the amount of work for that money you get in for that day, that is collecting money under false pretense. You have to pay for that. We have to answer for that. So there are all these duties, just some of them I'm telling you. And that's why we need to be in satsang to keep learning about them. You might be able to do all, but at least some you could try and see how you could help us in this way. So forgetting your duty, devotees, leads you along that pathway. Hari Om Narayan Bhakti Kevalam Charan Kamale Bhyo Namo Namam. इसको पापियों को सब मार के को त्याग कर को यम लोक में जाता है, वहां यम दूत को आकर यम को का ज्ञा से हरिओम उनको पापियों का को वैतारिणी नदी की होता है, श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. Having devotees come along that pathway, the sinful devotees reach that terrible pathway of the Vaitarini river. On that devotees issue on the southern direction. The messengers of Yamdut, devotees of Yamraj, having thus been judged, and I told you how it happens up there, very fair, very square, very logical and practical. We carry two people on our shoulders, invisible people called Chitran Gup. They document every single thing you do, good and bad. The sons of Brahma, called the Sravanas, they document the wrongs and the good of the males. And the Sravanis are the daughters-in-law. They document devotees, the good and the wrong of the females. They are blessed with long-distance hearing and long-distance sight. So no matter where you are, they don't see that, they book it on long time. Up there, highly computerized. When you had to face the Lord Yamraj there, they tell you the soul has trembled with fear, you're frightened. You had a little case in the courthouse, that ticket you didn't pay. Yeah? And you're frightened what the magistrate will tell you. Imagine you had that case up there. They say the soul has trembled with fear. That's why when you're making a siddha for the Brahmana, always put salt in it. Salt is recommended in any siddha. It takes away the fear from the soul and so on. Okay? And so devotees, what happened? When they call out, they get you open up you get your file number and open up your file and they start to call out all what you do down here. You don't want to know how them do that up there. These two people document it. And you want witness? Well, then bring in witness to prove it. Is that the balance of your karmas, good and bad, devotees? In the following chapters you're going to hear now, when you commit X sin, what body you have to born back in to pay for it? Although you're the human, we are the highest, Bare Bhagyamanusha Upava. The scriptures tell us there are 8,400,000 species of lives. They are divided into 4 categories called Angaj, Ukmaj, Pindaj, and Astravar. Lives that are born from wombs, mammals, we are the highest, the human. Then lives that come from eggs, lives that are sweat-born, microscopic and otherwise, and the plant kingdom. We are top, we are the highest. If you have a body higher than the human, the soul could get to come and live in. Being in this body, we stand right on the gateway. Your hand on the door, to open the door and you reach oneness with Lord Vishnu. Atma merging into Paramatma. We right on the door, they say Moksha ka dwar hai. But you could only achieve it if you use the body for which it was given. Sadhana ki dham hai. The body was prepared for spiritual endeavors. And to put it simple, it's 2 simple things we have to do as a human, if you want to better yourself. They call it par and upakar. Just serve the Lord and His creation with a guileless heart. What I mean? Just keep doing good whilst you could, when you could, as long as you could, as much as you could. Do not sit around and wait for an opportunity to come to you. Get up and look. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall open to you. And you can only do that with this body whilst God bless you with health and strength and little resources and so on. The day these things are to fail, that's the end of it. So take advantage, devotees, whilst we have it here. So it tells you here now, they come to that river again. Garur, they are hurled, the devotees, they jumped out on them. But when you go through the path to the Naraks or the hells now, you meet up Vaitarani there, the custody of the messengers of Yamraj, they hurl you into that river. And you remain there suffering. Which again, devotees, is the foremost amongst the hells. Think about it. It have a katha dealing with that by itself, and you're going to hear later on. नारायण भक्ति केवलम। इसी प्रकार जिसने कृष्ण को गौ का को दान को नहीं को दिया कि होता है, who again go wrong that way? Those person who did not make gifts of the black cow, nor perform the ceremony for those who are in the upper body, that's the pitras and all these things and so on. How about cases you had today where some a loved one died? Baba, I want to have a package deal. You see, the day for the funeral, right? You fix up and organize the chief and the bhandar and the one thing one time. Because here we're going on, we live in a way, we have time to come back, Well, Baba know how to fix to it. You look for the correct Baba and he go fix it for you. Right? So the day of the shaving, everything passed good. Yeah, boy, yeah, we get up on it, He do the shaving the same day for the funeral and the bhandara the same day and the 1 year too. Well, good, go ahead. Devotees, that soul does remain stuck until eternity. It can't release from the spiritual, according to the scriptures, devotees. Okay? Those devotees, again, who do not, you see, Pitrapaksas, I tell you, is so important. Do you know every day we're supposed to pay obeisance to the ancestors? And one wise old parent was saying a very simple way to do it. When you get up in the morning, just face the south and bow to the Pitras. The south is the direction for the Pitras. Just bow. Right? Sankranti days are very, very meritorious for offering tarpan and so on. And it's Sankranti. When is Sankranti? If you read the Kashika Patra, you'll get that information in English. Very, very important. Okay? So devotees, having again suffered so much great misery, devotees, along there, then they bring them out by the silk cotton tree. I tell you, as young children, especially when long time walking and going to school in the countryside, and you have big silk cotton tree there, nobody want to pass by that, And there is nobody passing by that. And well, Peltier, where Sikh cinema was, there was a silk cotton tree there. But that tree is said to be, when you watch the tree alone, man, you look dismal. Right? The spirits, something live on that tree. That's where they like it. That's in the Garuda Purana here. They bring them by that tree, devotees. And what they do, it stands on the bank of Vaitarani. Hari Om. को साक्षी को देने वालों को और को हरि ओम श्री कूट को धर्म एक को पराया को कपट में द्वारा धन को पैदा करने वाला चोरियों को अजीवाका को करने वाले बड़े बड़े को वृक्षों के छेदन को करने वाला है वन को आगमन को नष्ट को करने वाले व्रत को त्याग तीर्थ यात्रा को नहीं को चाहने वाला है और को हरिओम श्री विधवा स्त्री को शील को हरिओम श्री खंडन को करने वाला स्वामी को हरिओम श्री दूषण को लगाने वाला है ओम श्री स्त्री को परम पुरुष को सेवन करने वाला इत्यादि सब पापी जीव को श्यामली को वृक्षकों को नीचे आकर दुख भोगने की होता है विष्णु भगवान की जय. The name of that tree in Hindi is called the Shamali. Right? Shamali is the silk cotton tree. So they bring them by that tree, their devotees. And who come there for sufferation or torture again? The fellow devotees who goes in the courthouse and hold the book and say, I swear to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and it's a dry lie you're telling. Bearing false witness, you're going to talk there for some piece of pressure. Okay? Narayana Bhakti Kevalam. The person who performs again false duties, what is according is not your duty, and you go and take up that. In other words, impersonating then. The person who earns his life by cheating, by stealing, right? A conman then in this manner, you're robbing people, stealing, cheating, and fraudulent ways and so on. You're going down that way, right? The person again, devotees, who cuts down and destroys trees. The word kata had to live, and especially a tree which will bring shade, right? That the cows will go under there when the sun hot, or people, travelers passing, they will sit under that tree to relax a little bit. You see? Trees are life devotees. Okay? You know, a simple thing, you have teachers in the audience there, right? In the infant book, Boyo and Kala, Kala used to talk to her tomato plant, and she saw the plant growing up so well. You do that, devotees? You talk to your plants and see, right? Do you ever have a cow, and the cow is milking, and you play flute music by that cow, it gives you more milk? This experiment was done in Castlefieldfield. You get more milk flow from that cow. Plants have life, right? It's just a lower form because of karma again. So who cuts down and destroys trees, devotees, gardens, forests, and so on? Remember what happened with deforestation? All in the Amazon place and so on there, that was the biggest, and now everybody looking to see to make money out of lumber and water and so on, right? Then what will happen to the ozone layer is contaminated, you'll have, how you call it again, lack of rainfall, all these things, the relief for the country will be affected and all these things and so on. The person who neglect vows and pilgrimages, certain vows we are supposed to take, you know, even during our issues of celebrating certain occasions and so on, right? You neglect your vows in this manner, right? Places of pilgrimages, holy place. Do you know when you have a prayers in your house, your place becomes a holy place? Huh? You have a puja home. Pandit comes there, you invite people and so on, and they come there. Your place equals the Ganges River or Kailash Parvat. That is how holy that place is. It becomes universal. If a stranger walks in there, you're not supposed to tell him anything. Once you observe the discipline and so on, that spot becomes a universal spot. So devotees, in this manner it says here that neglecting such issues and so on. And that's why you see every year we just organize Tirata. What is it? What is it, Tirata? Sometimes no lesson. I can't remember. The person who destroys the chastity of widows. The lady husband died. She lives a very nice life, 1% in her life, and she lives along that life. And you going to take advantage of that lady now, okay, and destroy that chastity that she was living with. You're going down there. You're going down that pathway, right? The lady who right, the 24th of August is our, it don't put the tirat to go in again. Remember that, 24th of August. The person who despises her husband. You know, scriptures tell you, if you notice it there, the wedding, the wife got put the mala for the husband, make arti for him and bow to his feet, you know. But the husband had to do it, All right? All right? A wife's Lord is her husband. Scriptures tell you, if a wife serves her husband in the way that she really should, she's bound to go to no place of pilgrimage. Just serving the husband, devotees, all that blessing come. But everybody won't agree with that in the daytime. Now the other thing, when you look at it, the wife will serve the husband, yes, if he likes Shriram and she likes Sita. But if she likes Sita and he likes Ravan, what are you going to do? In the same opposite way too. But the wife devotee is supposed to listen to the husband, humble to the husband. But by these days it's totally different, you know. And our girl with us, how come I mean, you should settle on thing by now? She said, Baba, I can't get nobody, you know. I said, how you mean? Yeah, good job, and she said, well, you see, who married me, they had to learn to cook and thing. Because me cooking, you know, he had to do all the work in the house. I say, Hare Ram. Yeah? So the fella says, since the lady started to put on pants, she's the man in the house. And two man rat can't live in one house. So I don't know, and that's what you hear outside here. So what I'm showing you is, the lady who honors her husband, worships the husband, treats him nicely, not bull rag him, ball behind him, and it has cases, rare cases like that, right? Definitely she's going down that pathway. She's going down the pathway. You do not serve the feet of your Lord. She's going down that pathway, devotees, and you suffer for it later on. Sri Vishnu Adi Devi Bhownath Maraj, right? Narayana Bhakti Kevalam. They are all devotees taken to that silk cotton tree, and they experience there much beaten there. Right? They hang upside down and it looks like peas in the West Indies. It's real trouble, I tell you, according to the Garuda Purana, that the soul does suffer when we enter on the wrong side of life. So you see, if we listen and you're following what's going on here, all the good we're doing, we just do wrong too. Somewhere along the line, it has happened because you're living in this world. All right? But that's why you need to study scriptures and acquire knowledge and all these things, control. Like I tell a fella, you say, when I read the planet, I say, boy, this planet you're showing that you have Rakshas quality in you, I say, what do you mean by that? He said, what do you mean by that? I say, well, the Rakshas is demon. I said, let's get vexed real fast. The wife said, Baba, don't talk. Raina had to set up what he vexed already. I said, well, knowing it now that you have Rakshas quality, you're an educated person, you could learn to control it. Right? You could control it. Try to control it, or you're going to find yourself in trouble all the time. So, and that's why we need to always uplifting ourselves, educating ourselves, find yourselves in the correct environment where these teachings take place. Right? If one simple thing we could take that would help us to better our lives, we would have benefited from it. Bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagavan ki jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. So devotees, we'll stop here tonight. We continue again, but what happens is that, okay, we will not have any satsang next week, Thursday. Garuda Purana Satsangh, because next week Thursday is full moon. Right? So we'll have our full moon Satya Narayan Brat Katha by the BD there. As the Rishi Vizan family, they will be the shrotas next week. Right? So I'm just sorry about that. The other 2 following weeks, all right, I'll be unavailable. So we'll have no satsang for those 2 Thursdays. So Thursday coming will be Satnarayan Katha. The other 2 Thursdays will be off. We come back on the other one. All right? So Prem se boliye Sri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Vishnu Bhagavan ki jai. Simiti se means you put a bucket full on that tap that is dripping. If it takes a week, the bucket will full. And that is how satsang is. The little moments that you spend in this environment, what will it do? It comes like the bucket is being filled. Gradually, you will see how that elevation is going to take place. So, Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. We normally stop at this time because we don't leave the temple, run you after 9 o'clock. Tonight we say thanks very much to Lalan Bhai who did puja tonight. And he did puja on behalf of Parasad was donated tonight by Raj and Joan of Makshine Street in San Grande. We thank them so much for their contribution. And also, the Parasad was prepared by Kasi and Bodhi. They'll come here early in the morning. They make so much voluntary contribution. We thank them so much, devotees. We need some more people to come on board to help with Parasad, especially younger ones, to learn it. Our bhojan, our food tonight is sponsored by Mrs. Indra Garib. Thanks so much, right? For your, next week, Thursday again, will be puja, Satnarayan Katha, and Rishi again, beside family shrotas. So no satsang, Garuda Purana Satsangh next week. And the other 2 devotees, I will not be there. Now Sunday, as I told you, when next week Thursday, Holika will be burnt. On that full moon night, when the Lord take the form of Lord Narasingh. Okay? And devotees, the next day Phagwa is celebrated. But here, convenience-wise, we look for the nearest Sunday. So the Sunday after, which is Sunday the 16th, Phagwa will be observed and celebrated. You also have Chautal, if you put on Radio Jagriti, TV Jagriti and so on, the Chautal Samalan for these Hindu schools will take place Saturday at the Mahasabha quarters. It's a wonder to go and see what them children doing, eh? I really wonder the teachers of the schools pertaining to culture. Good? So on the Grandi Hindu school grounds, Sunday the 16th from 1 o'clock, right? Abir and powder will be free. Okay? So the contributions that are made from the temple and otherwise devotees will help to think that. Now the temple really has a raffle ongoing presently to help again with funding devotees' expenses pertaining to uplifting, and we have a little house around home. It has cost so much. Look at this big house here, about 5 big houses in one. You could imagine the expense you have with this place. So we always need to generate funds. So instead of just asking for something, a raffle, you have 18 prizes in that raffle, so it's very attractive. Okay? So Prem se boliye Shri Vishnu Bhagavan ki jai. I can safely say on behalf of management, myself and all connected with Mandir, we have had a very successful Mahashivratri Yajna also. Okay? Mahashivratri was on Wednesday night, the 26th to the 27th. It was so nice to see the Mandir filled with devotees keeping Jagran. I want to specifically commend again all those devotees who render kirtan and bhajans and music and so on to keep the night going. And we always get that support. So while Bhagavan bless you and you could do devotees, take advantage and do it. Prem se boliye Vrindavan, Bihari Lal ki jai. So let us now stand, please, as we are going to join in our arti. We ask Lalan, who did puja, to commence the arti. It's always welcome, and if anybody wish to come up and do arti, welcome. Hari Om Yani Kani Chapapani Janamantar Gretani Tani Tani Vinashanti Pradakshina Pari Pari Deepanam. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare. भक्तजनों के संकट, भक्तजनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय
जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय
जगदीश हरे। भक्तजनों के संकट, भक्तजनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय
जगदीश हरे,
ओ जो ध्यावे बल पावे, और दुख बिन से मन का स्वामी,
दुख बिन से मन का
सुख समपति घर आवे, सुख समपति घर आवे, हर्ष समिते तन का। ओ जय जगदीश हरे। मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी स्वामी,
शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी।
तुम बिन औरन दो जा, तुम बिन
औरन दो जा,
आश करूं मैं जिसकी। ओ जय जगदीश
हरे।
तुम पूरन परमात्मा, और तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी।
तुम अंतर्यामी,
और ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार
ब्रह्म परमेश्वर,
तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता स्वामी।
तुम पालन करता,
दीन दयालु कृपालो, दीन
दयालु कृपालु,
कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश
हरे।
तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति स्वामी।
सबके प्राणपति,
किस विधि मिलऊं दयामय, किस विधि
मिलूं दयामय,
तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी,
तुम रक्षक मेरे,
करुणा हस्त बढ़ावो, करुणा हस्त बढ़ावो, शरण परा तेरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे, विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा स्वामी,
पाप हरो देवा,
श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ावो, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, तन तन की सेवा, ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी
जय जगदीश हरे।
ओ भक्त जनों के संकट, भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे, ओम जय
जगदीश हरे।
बोलो श्री सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम, बोलो श्री सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम, बोलो श्री राधे श्याम राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम, और बोलो श्री राधे श्याम राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम
जय राधे श्याम।
बोलो श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय। We humble ourselves in prayerful submission once more, giving thanks to the Lord for these moments of togetherness in this holy environment. As we give thanks, O Prabhu, we beg of you, shower thy grace and mercy upon us. Let that devotion towards your lotus-like feet, let the devotees grow in our hearts to sing. May we be blessed once more with this privilege to be here on Thursday next, as we have our Purnima Satnarayan Bratkatha. Hari Om. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Shuresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Subhangam Lakshmikantam
कमलनयनम
Yogi Viridhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavam Sarvalokaikanaatham Om Tvameva Mata
च पिता त्वमेव
Tvameva Vando
च सखा त्वमेव
O Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om। प्रेम से बोलिए श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, सीतापति रामचंद्र की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, गुरु रामानंद स्वामी की जय, आर शक्ति जगदम्बे माता की जय, बोलो श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, सर्वदेवी सर्वदेवता की जय, साधु गुरु के दंडवत जय 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 सीताराम। आपकी आसन लीजिए, प्लीज टेक योर सीट्स।